Salah al-Bardawil was a senior figure in Hamas. He was a member of the group's political bureau, making him a key decision-maker. Al-Bardawil was known for his strong stance against Israel and advocated for resistance against the occupation. He was also a prominent voice in Palestinian politics. His death is a significant loss for Hamas. Al-Bardawil was born in Gaza in 1960. He rose through the ranks of Hamas and became known for his intelligence and charisma. He was a powerful speaker who could rally crowds with his words. Al-Bardawil was seen as a potential future leader of Hamas. Al-Bardawil was a controversial figure. He was a target of Israeli intelligence for many years. Israel held him responsible for numerous attacks. He was also a critic of the Palestinian Authority and believed in armed struggle against Israel. Al-Bardawil's death is a blow to Hamas. It removes a key leader and strategist. It also comes at a critical time as the conflict with Israel is escalating. His death is likely to fuel anger and resentment, which could lead to further violence. On March 23, 2025, an Israeli airstrike killed Salah al-Bardawil. The strike targeted his home in Khan Yunis, Gaza. Al-Bardawil's wife was also killed in the attack. The strike sparked outrage and condemnation. Israel defended the strike, claiming Al-Bardawil was a legitimate target. They accused him of planning attacks against Israel and said the strike was necessary to prevent future violence. Hamas vowed revenge for the killing, calling it an act of terrorism. They promised a swift and forceful response. The group launched a barrage of rockets into Israel, further escalating the conflict. The international community reacted with alarm, calling for restraint from both sides. The United Nations condemned the killing and urged a return to the ceasefire. The United States expressed concern over the escalating violence. The killing of Al-Bardawil shattered a fragile ceasefire. The ceasefire was agreed upon in January 2025 and aimed to end months of fighting. The truce was already strained before the airstrike, with both sides accusing each other of violations. The ceasefire was brokered by Egypt and had the support of the United States. The goal was to create space for negotiations. However, talks quickly stalled as neither side was willing to make concessions. Israel refused to lift the blockade on Gaza, which has been in place since 2007, and restricts the movement of goods and people. Palestinians say it is collective punishment. Hamas, in turn, refused to release Israeli captives taken during the October 2023 attacks. The breakdown of the ceasefire is a setback for peace. It dashes hopes for a negotiated settlement and raises the risk of a wider conflict. The killing of Salah al-Bardawil marks a dark turn in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It has inflamed tensions and fueled violence. The situation in Gaza is dire, with the humanitarian crisis worsening. The international community seems powerless to stop the bloodshed. The cycle of violence seems endless. Each attack leads to retaliation, and civilians bear the brunt of the suffering. Children are particularly vulnerable, traumatized by the constant fear and loss. The future looks bleak, with no clear path to peace. Trust between the two sides is non-existent, and the international community is divided. The conflict continues to claim innocent lives and fuels extremism and instability in the region. A lasting solution seems distant, requiring a fundamental shift in approach. Both sides need to choose dialogue over violence and prioritize the well-being of their people. The international community must play a more active role and hold both sides accountable for their actions.